I heard an interesting stat kind of thrown out at the end of the IMS Radio Network's qualifying coverage from earlier today at Chicagoland Speedway. Some of you may know Ryan Briscoe has won the pole for tomorrow's Peak Indy 300 at the 1.5-mile racetrack out in Joliet. And as such, he earns himself one very valuable championship point. His lead is now up to 5 points over Dario Franchitti and 21 points over Scott Dixon as we head to the race tomorrow night, which should be a 9 o'clock start time on the East Coast. And it started to make me think about the three championship contenders and where they stand as far as these bonus points go. And when I talk about bonus points, I mean not just the 1 point that you earn for winning a pole position, but also the 2 points that you earn for leading the most laps in a race. And so I decided to do some research, and basically, from what I found, Briscoe, Franchitti, and Dixon all have 10 of these bonus points each. Here's how they break down for all three of them. For Ryan Briscoe, this is his 4th pole this season. He now has Chicagoland under his belt. He also won poles at Watkins Glen, Milwaukee, and Mid-Ohio. He's also led the most laps at 3 different races, Milwaukee again, Texas, and Iowa. So there's 10 points right there. Interestingly enough, at Milwaukee, Texas, and Iowa, he finished 2nd in all 3 of those events. For Dario, he has doubled up, and when I say double up, I mean win the pole and lead the most laps. He won at Toronto and Sonoma, and he also did the same there. Won the pole, won the most laps there. So by my count, there's 6. And he led the most laps at Long Beach, which he won as well, but he started 2nd there, so there's just 2 points. And then he's also won 2 poles on the season at Texas and Richmond, if I'm correct. So there's 2 more points there, so there's 10 for him. Now Dixon, I thought he had 11 points, but I forgot. Apparently, they didn't award the championship point to him when he won the pole at Kentucky, because if you remember, the Kentucky grid was set after Weepers came onto the track and pretty much scotched everything as far as on-track activity goes. So the grid there had to be set by entrant points. So in that case, if he had gotten that point, he would have 11 bonus points on him. Instead, he has 10, like Briscoe and Franchitti. In Dixon's case, he's led the most laps at Kansas, Richmond, and Mid-Ohio. All 3 of those were wins. And he's also led the most laps at Indianapolis, which I believe he finished 6th, I believe, that day. And then at Kentucky, he led the most laps there. I believe 95 laps, but he wound up finishing 7th. So basically, if you think about it, just imagine if Scott Dixon had not had his problems at the beginning of the season. He finished, I believe, 16th in the season opener at St. Petersburg, crashed out of that race, and then he finished 15th, 1 lap down at Long Beach. Just imagine if he had a much better finishes there. Say he got top 5s in each of those. This championship race could look a lot more different than it does right now. But at the same time, we've been hearing in the last week or so that Scott Dixon has been saying that he'd rather not be the hunted, he'd rather be the hunter, he'd rather be the pursuer, at least until after Homestay. He doesn't want to be first place until at least after the checkered flag down there in October for the season finale. So when you think about it, in this case, Scott Dixon is apparently where he needs to be at this point.